So at this point, let's dive in. I'd like you to open up the Excel options dialog box. Depending on what version of Excel you have, you are going to either hit Alt-TO. Alt-TO in Excel is actually the universal setting to open up Excel options. It'll actually work not just for Excel 2003, but Excel 2007, 2010, and 2013. Then for 2007, 2010, and 2013, also these specific shortcuts to get you there. 2010, Alt-FT will work the same for 2013. 2007 is Alt-FI, and it'll open up this dialog box. For those that are using Excel on the Mac, everything looks a little bit different in terms of settings. The good news is once you get through the settings stuff with a Mac, the actual Excel canvas is pretty straightforward. It's pretty similar across for the Mac and for the PC, but of course, we're optimizing this course for the PC, just that's what you're going to be using on the job. Most finance positions end up using the PC, so we're going to focus on that. But part of your course download packets are shortcuts list and settings list for both the PC and the Mac versions of Excel. So let's get these settings right. So I'm actually going to switch to Excel. And I'm going to hit Alt-TO, which is a universal shortcut. I'm actually using Excel 2010. I have all versions of Excel on my machine. I just tend to prefer 2010 over 2013 at this point. And if you hit Alt-TO, and by the way, it's sitting under File, under Options. You open that up, but the shortcut is Alt-TO. Of course, the other option is Alt-FT. Both will work. And if you select under Formulas, I want you to make sure that the Excel files that you're going to start working in shortly have Enable Iterative Calculation selected. I want this box to be checked. And I want the workbook calculations to be on automatic except for data tables. Those are really the only two settings that I'd like you to already put into place before we start modeling. There's a very specific reason for why I'd like you to select Enable Iterative Calculations. I'll sort of foreshadow it now, and it has to do with intentional circularities that we build into our models that we're going to get to in subsequent videos. The reason why we want automatic except for data tables as opposed to say automatic is because we're also going to build some data tables, and data tables really grind Excel to a halt if you set data table calculations to automatic. Of course, you don't want to set it to manual, because if I was to, for example, set Excel to manual, a calculation like this. So I'm going to walk you through all these shortcuts if you're wondering how I'm doing this quickly without using the mouse in just a second. But if you've got this calculation, let's say I change this number from 5,000 to 5,000 and 1,000. Notice that the sum function isn't working. It's only when I go inside the cell or if I hit F9 that it automatically recalculates. Obviously, when you're building financial models and you're constantly changing numbers around, you don't want manual calculations. You want automatic except for data tables. Again, data tables, what that means is anytime you build a data table, anytime any numbers change, you do have to hit F9 for data tables. But it's worth it because Excel becomes really clunky if you don't.